Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict, right? And as you can tell by that thumbnail today, Norteños. But the real topic in a menudo style in a direct fashion is, why ain't they down south? Why are there Sureños, Southsiders, Vatos from the south, up north, and Wapenhomes? Why aren't they down south? Now, it's not to belittle anyone. It's not to clown. It's not to talk shit. It's not to say that Vatos can't go down there and establish. You know, of course, you're going to get a lot of people that say, Charlie, at the end of the day, gun, like you say, hey, órale, menudo. At the end of the day, the Vatos can't come down here, homes. But we'll go up there, eh? You know what I mean? We like great America. Nah, that ain't the way it works. There's a lot more intricate details that go into that whole shit. There's a lot more that goes into what has happened. See, the establishment of the South up north happened a long time ago. Now, let me give you the whole little rundown of why it hasn't happened and why it probably won't ever happen, right? And it's not to say that Vatos are punks or socas or they can't handle their business, because I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, up north, we wiggle. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm not an active Norteño. I'm not a gang member, homes. I'm not in the mix like that, but I'm still northern raised, California based, homes, Northern Cali gang. You know what it is. We out here motherfucker doing our thing. So let's get with nunchuck like that. Watch out like Bruce Lee. We do our thing, right? And down south, likewise, homes and vatos are down there like this. Boogum, 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 boogum. They're doing their thing. Okay? Little different up north, little different stilo, just a little different. Pero watch out. Brown. That's what matters first. Raza first and foremost. So trip out. Why aren't there Norteños down south? Well, I'm going to tell you why. First of all, you got to understand, down south is where it all started, vato. That's where organizations were established. That's where these barrios, these old school barrios like Evergreen, White Fence, you know, what is Dog Patch, the Maravillas, these old school gangs that have been around for several years. I know there's going to be a lot of vatos in the fucking making comments. What about my barrio? My barrio's been here for 50 years, 100 years, 192 years. Yes, I know. Your barrios have been around for a very long time, man. It's all respect and all love. But at the same time, I'm just saying, comes in a menudo style, that this plays a part into it. Also, geography plays a big part. You got to understand that down south, it's a very congested place. You could be over here in Burbank and then cruise over into the next city. You could be over here in the east side of LA. Sasuke, now you're over here. Orange County, también. You never know exactly where you're at because fucking it's all together. The cities are stacked one on top of each other. And every other street is a hood, a barrio, somebody's territory, somebody's taco shop. Everything is accounted for, right? Everybody has their neighborhood. Everybody stands on their toes and everybody plants their flag. Sas. Barrio, right? Everyone is proud of where they're from or where they lay their head at the end of the day down south. Likewise up north, pero with the whole new little remix, right? It's a little different. Whereas up north, it's a little bit more spread out. There are barrios in these cities, in these towns, homes, but they're a little spread out. Nobody is side by side. Sasuke is like, hey, I'm from the west, homes. We don't get along with the north side. Pero they're fucking 19 and a half blocks that way. So we ain't tripping, man. You can wiggle all day, every day, and not even see these babosos unless you go to the mall. And Sasuke, you guys are both trying to get the same pair of 9.5s. Pero I wear 11s. You know what I'm saying? This is how it goes down. Whereas in 18th Street in Florencia, the vatos are blocks away, and Sasuke, the wiggle gets real right there, you know? Sasuke, bullets stay flying. This is how it is. This is the difference, okay? There's a lot more Southsiders and Sureño gang members down south compared to the comparison to up north, Norteño gang members. Now, there's raza everywhere. And you would think that a lot of the farmlands being up north would mean more raza would migrate from Mexico up north. And quietly as it's kept, yes, there is a lot. There is a lot. But I said it's geography that plays a big part into it. And it's all spread out. What let's go over here. You have Atwater. Well, that's a Sureño stronghold. We'll talk about that. And then you got this over here, Salas. Of course, that's a northern stronghold. We're definitely going to talk about that. And then you got San Juan and San Fran and Oakland. Oh, my. And you just got everything. But they're spread out a little bit. I think the Bay Area is just a little bit more congested. But the makeup of the Bay Area, of course, is predominantly Africanos. It's probably like 65 to 70% Africanos, or it was at one point in time. And then you have a raza. There wasn't no farms up there. So what are they going to do, Humps? Fish in the ocean all day? So the Chinos already got that sewed up. This is how it is. So this is why I start getting into the thinking, the mind frame of why aren't there Norteños down there? Now, ain't nothing to jump on the 99. What the? Watch out. If you should lose me. I don't even want to hear that. Put on some chitarrana, right? And bumping and get there. Now, of course, vatos are there. There's Norteños that live down south. Is there Varrios of Norteños down south? No. Charlie. I'm going to tell you why. Because there's no room, Humps. There's no room. Hey, you're no good. There's no room. There's nowhere to go establish. Like I said, every street is accounted for. These Varrios have been around they've been around since the caveman were hunting with spear. Watch out. Sauce, I got me one. What is that, a tuna? No, it smells like fish, but it'll taste like chicken. They're established for a long time. So there would be nowhere for the Norteños to go down there and establish and call a barrio of their own. Not only that, it's such a highly controlled, organized area that if vatos try to go down there and establish, let's just be real. Let's be honest. Sasuke, heads are going to get cracked. Jaws are going that way. Eyes are going that way. Sasuke, you made me fuck your fucking eye out for Charlie M, right? This is what's going to happen. I'm not saying the Norteños are going to take L's and go down there and be some soca. Some just get beat up. Charlie Holmes, they're going to win some too. What I'm saying is there's no room, Holmes. There's no room, period. You cannot establish somewhere where there's no territory to establish. Now, you could try to move in on someone's zone. Try to be turbo and go to O-zone. And guess what happens? They're going to pop all over your ass. You feel me? You're going to be like, don't stop to the body rock till your eyesight stop to get hazy. You're going to be gone. Jam on it. Straight up. Right back down the 99 or the I-5 or whatever you want to call it. This is how the get down is. This is why there's no Norteños established down south. It's not because they're scared. It's not because they're not men and they can't. Any man can establish his roots wherever he wants. This is the United States of America, Holmes. Hey, we're down. What it all comes down to, and I'm speaking real right here from the gun, there's just no room. You know, like I said, these Varrios got it sewed up. And quietly as it's kept, the number game plays into it a big part. You know, where you have 30,000 Southsiders and 10,000 Norteños, they're outnumbered 2-1, you know, on a good day. The numbers just aren't in your favor, man. A man could only do so much. It doesn't matter if you're fucking Tyson. Sasuke, yeah, you might fucking get Holyfield one time and bite his ear, but the second time they're coming with 10 Holyfields, and I think they're going to bite back. This is just how the game is. I know quite recently, Norteños have been wiggling down south, and the embracement has been real. I've seen Norteños go down there in music videos. I've seen Norteños go down there a lot more. I go down south constantly. Like I said, don't count me in because I don't have a horse in the race. I'm not a gang member. But I wiggle a little bit freely, man. And I meet people. I meet Southsiders. Hey, I've ran into a couple of Norteños there. What the fuck, right? We were tripping on each other. They were like, you're active? You're active, right? This is how it is. You know, but as far as people establishing Varrios, you know, and it makes people say like, hey, Sasuke, see, Holmes, we hold it down over here down south. Norteños know better than to come here. No, it's not that they know better, bro. There's nowhere to go. They're from up north. You're from down south. The raza from the north, the raza from the south. It's all raza. That's the key word. It doesn't matter where you live, Holmes. It just matters how you strive for your people. Okay, when I say your people, I mean all people. Strive, Holmes. Better yourself. The betterment of oneself is what really counts. That's the establishment. You know, establish it for the warrior mentality of the people, the gente, the raza, period, brown and proud. But yeah, there's never been a Norteño Varrio down south. Now, I've heard rumors, hey, we're in Bakersfield now, Holmes. We got it sold in Bakersfield. Well, let me tell you something. Bakersfield used to be all Norteño Varrios at one point. And then it switched over. What happened is, you know, the Sureños started to move up. They started to move down that I-5, you know what I mean? And move down, or up, I guess, and boom, they hit Bakersfield. Okay, so you draw the line in Delano, and that line's been drawn in the sand for a long time. It's an imaginary line, pero everyone that knows, you know, beep, beep, boop, boop, boop. We know, south that way, north that way. Nowadays, with the end of hostilities, the line is blurred and vatos are mingling. Not necessarily on the streets. I'm seeing it a lot more, and I'm happy to see it, but in the pinta, okay? With these quite recent events, we're in the flux capacitors going like this. I don't know if we're going to go to the past, to the future, I don't know, but at the same time, we'll see how all that plays out. You know, all we can do is sit back, warm up some Orva Redenbacher, butter flavor, and handle our business, you know, and watch the show as it proceeds, you know, unless you want to go in there and participate. I don't think you do, you know, not at this point in time. It was cold that night. So Trip, I'm always asked the questions though, and I like to answer the questions that I'm asked in my DMs. They say, Gun, so you Vatos never had, no, there's never been Varrios down in LA. No, there's never been Varrios in San Diego, the Inland Empire, Charlie, man. And like I said again, it's not because anyone's punks and anyone ain't down to do it. It's just there's never been no reason to. You got your Varrios, and up north we have ours, okay? But how do the Sureños establish? Let me explain it to you. It's not like a whole bunch of Southsiders from down south came up north and said, hey, guess what? We represent the Southside kids. They didn't come in like that. Okay, it wasn't about that. Okay, Vatos were happy right there in Evergreen, homes kicking back in White Fence. They were happy doing their own thing. You know what I mean? Echo Park, chilling. They weren't tripping off Norteños. Half the Sureños down south don't even know what Norteños are. Okay, they don't even know how to spell the word Norteño. They ain't tripping. They're more worried about fucking their enemiga and their jaina, and if their jaina is with their enemiga, and if their jaina is their enemiga. That's what they're more worried about, and that's understandable, homes. You got to worry about your immediate surroundings than some vatos that are 400 miles away from you that ain't posing a threat. Okay, now the pinta's a whole different story. You go into prisons, there's directives, there's policies, there's politics that get into play. We're not going to go into that, and you already know what time it is. You know, you have to do what you have to do as a man, so that way you get out, and, you know, when your jaina's done with Sancho, you can have her back. You know, I want you back. And then you do you. But people always ask me, well, then how did the Sureños get them north? Because they're starting to get deeper and deeper daily. I'm going to tell you how. You know, it's been spoken on different channels, but this is my take on it. This is the Gun's take, right? This is the Gun. I'm going to tell you right now, my take on it is pretty much the same as everyone else's. There was a lot of paisas, and I hate to use the word paisa because it feels like I'm defecating on my people's character, or I'm talking derogatory about them. I'm going to say my Mexican national, you know, my raza people, you know what I mean? My gente. Mexicanos. Mexicanos came up north to work the fields, okay? And a lot of them couldn't speak English, you know, and what happened was these Norteño gang members started to pick on them and oppress them. You know, these young kids would go into escuela, they couldn't really speak English, and instead of uplifting your people, your gente, and showing them the way, they oppressed them. You know, I will say, because at that time, I was part of that. Was I oppressing people? Chale. In Merced, it was mainly Chicanos. We didn't have too many Mexicanos like that, Mexican nationals, but at the same time, when we did, I was on a different level. I always looked at them as just raza. But in some places, they oppressed them because they couldn't speak English. They felt they could get over on them. They felt they couldn't fight. They felt so, I don't know what they were feeling. The fucking feelings were wrong, right? But they did that. And these vatos banded together and established neighborhoods. Now, vatos, of course, just like vatos that go from up north down south to go visit and got familia and end up staying there. And they're fucking, every day they come out like, fuck that. I ain't trying to go that hood. They're deep over there. Did the same thing. They came up north with familia. A lot of these vatos from Mexico, you know, they had family members that lived in LA, San Diego, IE, Riverside, whatever the case may be. And they would come up to visit, and they would see their little primos, and their primos were all mad. Hey, what's up? What's that? Why you got a black guy? Little pinche norteño, cabrón. Right? Hey, watch out. Puro 18, homes. You know what I mean? Let them know, homes. And that was it. And Varrios started to get established. A lot of homegrown Varrios started to get established. I know a big place where they got established was in San Fran. You had 19th Street. You had several other Varrios. You also had in San Jose, Vicky's Town, you know, that gravitated towards Varrios Su 13. You had Sus Santos Pride. You had vatos that are fucking Watson that established. You even had Salas vatos that established. A lot of different Varrios got established up north. You know, then what happened was they started to get deeper, vato. You had a lot of Norteños that got incarcerated, got locked up. You know, the 90s was ugly. Vatos were out there really wiggling. North and south, it was on and cracking. And a lot of Norteños got locked up, and the Sureños kept on establishing, planting their roots. Hey, follow the yellow brick road. Established right here on the road, right? They were doing their thing. Flags were planted everywhere. So I thought I was in the game of fucking Dungeons and Dragons. They saw us. I'm the dungeon master, right? They were doing their thing. They started to get strongholds in Richmond. They started to get strongholds in Vallejo. They started to get strongholds in Atwater. They've always had a stronghold in Atwater. But this is how it went down. And so Vatos would always ask me, yeah, how do the Varrios from down south, why do they have the same names? Like I said, a Vato would move up there and he'd be like, Sasuke, watch it, this is Vicky's town now. And in that fashion. And that's just it. And these Vatos ran with it because you got to understand, they were Mexicanos and they didn't know no better. They were just like, fuck it, Holmes. You know, it's protection. Fuck these Vatos because they're fucking hitting us with rocks in the side of the head when we walk home from school. We ain't going out like that anymore. And they started to band together. Of course, what happened was Chicanos, Mexican Americans, Vatos that are there, that should have leaned towards the north, they should have leaned towards where their motherland was, their homeland, started to go that way too. And that's where you started to have Chicanos. After generations, the Vatos would meet them Gabachas, you know, the Paisa, they like them Gabachas one time for their mind. And next thing you know, they have a young Chicano and boom, 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 the generations go on. And next thing you know, the Mexican nationals kind of weeded out of there and you have nothing but Chicanos and they're sureños and they're talking about tres ese. And that's just the way it is. So yes, you do have sureños up north, but there's, well, why didn't the Norteños get rid of them? Because, hey, I'm going to keep it fucking simple and plain and simple because they couldn't. Because the real ones that were about the business homes were all locked up. The ones that were out there and the guys were too busy getting feria, anscante, or doing something else. They were in the, while you were locked up, instead of dealing with the sureños, they were like, with your lady. That's what was going on. Just real talk. Okay? They weren't tripping off the sureños in the first place. And I know, I'm going to tell you, 90s, Norteños looked at the sureños because most of them, like I said, were Mexicanos. Like, man, they don't pose a threat. They're always inside the house. We don't never see them, homes. If you hit them up, they're going to say they don't bang, chale. But they start to get deeper, bolder, braver, colder, you know, meaner, older. This is what happened, and it was too late, bro. It was way too late. The numbers game changed. That's why you have sureños up north. Okay? Do I give them the respect? Bang, bang, to the fullest. Any Vatos that establish neighborhoods and in a fucking different fucking territory and are able to hold their own, oh, you didn't know, you got to give them the respect. You ain't got to like them and shit, but you got to respect them. But I like them and respect them because I ain't tripping, man. I'm brown. Like I said, it's all good in the hood. You know, I got primos that are sureños from up north. I got primos that are sureños from down south. Shit, I even got a primo that's a bulldog. You know what I mean? Shit, we're all mixed up. But this is the way it is. You know, I just thought I'd answer the question because it got put on my plate. So yeah, well, you know, and I say it's a frivolous question anyways. Who gives a shit? Who cares if there's Norteños down south? Who cares if there's Sureños up north? We're all raza. It doesn't matter, Holmes. The word Norteño and Sureño, yes, you fucking Mexican, you're from up north. Yes, you're Mexican, you're from down south. Those are words that were given as soldados in the pinta, Holmes, to maintain them yardas for the big organizations. That's it, Holmes. When you hit the calles, you weren't supposed to still be doing that shit. You were supposed to be about your barrio. You know what I mean? I'm not here to poison anyone. Do your thing. Strive, homie. Strive forever forward on both sides. I'm just saying, though. You feel me? I could lead a horse to water, but I can't make it drink. You understand? This is the truth. These are facts. This is actual facts. I do it in my own way, but you know what it is. So that, in a nutshell, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, trip out. There ain't no Norteños down south. There are probably some down there just chilling and like a villain on the low on the radar, you know. But there's no Varrios down there. And up north, there is Varrios and Southsiders, and I already told you the get down of how that was established and why that happened. And it's going to continue to be like that. You know, I'm not saying the Norteños ain't out there wiggling with them and handling their business, but hey, why? When you go to the Pinta, you're going to play handball and eat fucking sopas together, so it's a different story. You know, you need to look at the big picture. The big picture is the brown people, Holmes. We need you all. That's the big picture. We need you all, bro. Whether you want to be a Norteño or a Sureño and still do your thing, that's cool. But we still need you, brother. We need you. You know what I mean? Stick with us. This is what it is. Anyways, man, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I hope that this end of hostilities stays intact with all the things that's been going on lately, all the rumors we've been hearing. I know confirmed, like me and the homeboys were talking about, we know something went down in Lancaster on an active Norteño yard. As far as any other prisons, I can't say because I don't know. We've heard rumors. At the end of the day, no one knows, does one? We don't know. That's good. We're not in there every day on the grind. We're out here, Holmes, on the grind for our familias. And we got to continue to do that. We got to push forward so that the gente in there have something to look forward to out here. You know, be a role model, vato. You know what I mean? Don't be modeled to the role. You already know what it is. Anyways, I hope that you move fast with a purpose. I hope that you got everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about hustling. Moving fast with that purpose for your familia, man. If you like this video, hit that like. If you don't, hit that thumbs down. Either way, it's going to help the algorithms. Bang, bang, the gun. You know what it is, man. Hey, if there's Norteños down south, Sasuke, Chombi. Right? Bang, bang. It's all good, gente.